Some monsters find you in the dark. Some find you when you're already in trouble. Procrasto Sloth finds you on your best day, the day you finally made it. New office, new badge, new beginning. He was there before you finished your first cup of coffee, and he had only one job: to keep you exactly where you are. Mrs. Chen had been in HR for 31 years.
The company will match a portion of what you put in.
She had seen every version of this moment, the excitement that walked in the door, the confusion that sat down at her desk, and the very specific face people made when they saw the 401k enrollment form for the first time. Tanner made that face. She explained it simply. A retirement account. Social Security, if it's still around, is not going to be enough. This will be money from your paycheck, set aside before you even see it, growing over time until you are ready to stop working. She told him his company would match a portion of whatever he put in. She told him starting young was the single best financial decision he could make. You just started. You don't even know what you're doing yet. You need that money right now. Rent, food, life, fun. You're 24. Retirement is 40 years away. Who cares, right? There's plenty of time to figure it out later. There's always a later. Let's start from where Tanner is. Because if no one ever explained this to you, that is not a character flaw. It is a gap in the education system, and we're going to close it right now. A 401k is a retirement savings account tied to your employer. The name comes from the section of the tax code that created it, Section 401, subsection K. Not exactly inspiring, but what happens inside it absolutely should be. You choose a percentage of your paycheck to contribute. That money goes into the account before you ever touch it. Your employer, in many cases, adds money on top of what you put in. And then all of it, your contributions and your employers, gets invested in the market and grows over time. You cannot easily touch it until you are 59 and a half without a penalty. That is not a punishment. That is protection from your future self, making a bad decision on a stressful Tuesday. The sloth shifts in his chair. He does not like when people understand him. Understanding is the enemy of delay. Here is the piece that Procrasto Sloth is counting on you to never learn. The mechanism that makes a 401k contribution feel almost painless if you understand what is actually happening. A traditional 401k uses pre-tax dollars. That phrase sounds simple, and it is, but the implication is enormous. When your money goes into your 401k, it comes out of your paycheck before the government calculates your income tax. You are not just saving for the future, you are reducing your taxable income today. On a bi-weekly paycheck, that 10% contribution costs Tanner roughly $210 less per check. Not $269, $210. The government absorbs the rest of the difference because his taxable income dropped. Tanner put $7,000 toward retirement this year, but his lifestyle only felt $5,450 of it. That is the mechanism. That is pre-tax investing, and Procrasto Sloth told him he couldn't afford it. Now we need to talk about something that should make you genuinely angry if you have been avoiding this conversation. The employer match. Many companies will match a percentage of your 401k contributions. A common structure is 5%. That means if Tanner contributes at least 5% of his salary, his employer deposits another 5% into his account. Not as a gift, not as a bonus, as compensation that was already budgeted for him the day he accepted the offer. This is not generosity. This is deferred compensation that your employer has already accounted for in their budget. If you do not contribute enough to capture the full match, they keep it. It does not go back to you. It disappears. The average worker who does not capture their employer match leaves over $1,300 per year or more on the table. Every year. For however long you put off starting. Procrasto Sloth has been eating that money, year after year, in complete silence.
Here's the latest projection. What do you think?
I think it's great.
Mrs. Chen had one more thing to show him. And this is where Procrasto Sloth began to lose. $2,100,000, starting at 24, contributing 10% of $70,000, increasing that by just 1% each year, a raise-sized amount that he will barely feel, capturing the full employer match, earning a historically reasonable 7% annual return, $2 million waiting for him at 65. Then Mrs. Chen scrolled the screen. $980,000, still a life-changing number, but $1.1 million less than if he had signed the form on day one. That is what delay actually costs. Not today's $210 per paycheck. $1,100,000 from the life he is building. Tanner sat back in his chair and looked at the ceiling for a moment. Maya had been at the company 6 months, but she freelanced on the side.
You know there are other retirement accounts besides 401k.
She knew things about self-employment that Tanner had never considered. Things that mattered to her friends who worked entirely on their own. No employer, no HR, no benefits package. The 401k is not the only weapon in this fight, and not having access to one is not an excuse to do nothing. The Roth versions flip the tax equation. Instead of saving on taxes now, you pay taxes on the money going in, and then everything that grows inside is yours completely tax-free when you retire. For someone young like Tanner, who is likely in a lower tax bracket now than he will be at 65, the Roth 401k or Roth IRA deserves serious thought. For Maya, for freelancers, for anyone building income outside a traditional employer, the SEP IRA and Solo 401k were designed specifically for you. No employer required, no HR packet, just a decision and a brokerage account. Procrasto Sloth finds all of these equally threatening.
Yeah, I've made my decision.
Which is how you know they are worth understanding. The sloth made its move. Every excuse at once, every whisper it had saved up since morning, all of it released in a single moment. He told him, "You don't understand this well enough yet. What if the market crashes? You're gonna need that money for emergencies. Your rent is going up. Just wait until next year. You're overthinking it. You'll do it when you feel ready." And then Tanner thought about the chart. $2 million, or $980,000. The only thing standing between those two numbers was this moment. He still did not feel ready. He was not sure he understood everything. He was genuinely scared to see a smaller number on his first real paycheck. But then he understood it's not going to feel as painful as he thought, since the contributions lower his yearly taxable amount. He went ahead, signed the form. Ready is what Procrasto Sloth did not want to see. The sound the sloth made when it lost was a roar. 20 years of delay, now out of his reach. And for the first time since he walked in that morning, Tanner was not afraid of the thing that had been riding him.
Your time in this office is up. The exit is that way.
Tanner was done waiting for a feeling that was never going to come on its own. He was done letting a voice on his shoulder spend his future for him. Gone. Not forever. Procrasto Sloth is sitting on someone's shoulder right now. Maybe yours. Telling you that you are too young, too uncertain, too busy, too broke. Telling you there is time. And there is time. Right now. Today. This is the time. You do not need to understand everything before you start. You need to start so that you begin to understand. Open the enrollment form. Pick a percentage. Capture the match. Begin. Your future self is not a stranger. It is you, 40, 30, or 20 years from now, living in a life built by the decisions you made today. Don't let the sloth decide that life for you. Thank you for watching Scary Finance, where the only thing scarier than monsters is not knowing how money works. Please like, subscribe, and drop a comment with your thoughts below. Until next time.